3 years ago, I stood right outside this exact door. Cameron collapsed to his knees, burying his tear-soaked face in his hands. Dad, Chloe just had the baby. They can't survive without me. If I go to prison, this family is finished. Please, take the fall. Just this once. When you get out, we'll treat you like a king. We'll give you everything. My chest caved. I let my soft heart drag my aging bones straight into a jail cell. Now, catching the muffled voices leaking through the cracked front door, the blood freezes in my veins. I draw a sharp breath and wrap my knuckles against the wood. Cameron yanks the door open. Panic flashes across his pupils before twisting into a feigned mask of surprise. Dad, you took a cab? I was just grabbing my keys to pick you up. He scans me top to bottom, forcing a glassy sheen into his eyes. You've been through hell. Look how much weight you lost. If I hadn't heard his scheming through the door, if only that fake sympathy held an ounce of truth. A bitter sting hits my chest, but I swallow it down. It's fine. I push past him into the foyer. An Uber was easy enough. Chloe intercepts me. She aims a can of Lysol directly at my chest, holding down the nozzle until a choking chemical cloud engulfs me. Don't take it personally, Dad, she chirps, flashing a tight, plastic smile. Just killing the prison germs. A little bad energy cleanse. Her upper lip curls in raw, naked disgust. She looks at me like a stray dog, a dirty felon. She conveniently forgets that I wear that title exactly for her and Cameron. I bite my tongue and head straight for my old bedroom down the hall. Chloe sidesteps, barricading the hallway. That's Willow's playroom now. We don't have space for extras. My boots plant into the hardwood. I glance at Cameron. He averts his eyes, suddenly fascinated by the baseboards. I look toward the kitchen. Sylvia keeps her head ducked, scrubbing dishes so hard her knuckles turn white, refusing to acknowledge my existence. A suffocating silence stretches across the living room. I served 3 years in a cell. I didn't die. My voice scrapes against my throat. I don't even get a corner in my own home. Chloe crosses her arms, dropping the sweet act. Why are you being so harsh? Willow is in preschool now, so Mom shares the guest room with her. I'm pregnant with baby number 2. This house is cramped enough. Where exactly are we supposed to put you? She tilts her chin, her gaze dropping to my scuffed shoes. You have a record. You're unemployable. We have bills to pay, Dad. We can't afford to sponsor a freeloader. You need to rent your own place. Cameron steps up, digging into his wallet. He shoves a crumpled $100 bill into my palm. Dad, I did some research. There's a rundown trailer park out by the county line. $100 covers the first month. Just rough it out there for a bit. Once I get promoted and buy us a massive house, I'll move you right back in. He sells the fantasy with perfect pitch, but he made damn sure to pick the absolute furthest zip code on the map. Chapter 2. They treat me like radioactive waste. I pivot to Sylvia. She hasn't uttered a single syllable since I walked through the door. Are you signing off on this too? Sylvia sighs, her face twisting into a mask of counterfeit pity. Sullivan, Cameron is a corporate executive now. If his board finds out his father is a convicted felon, it would destroy him. And think of little Willow, she presses, using my granddaughter as a shield. How is she supposed to face her preschool friends if they find out her grandfather is an ex-con? Sylvia meets my gaze, her eyes hard and condemning. We're parents. We have to make the hard sacrifices for our children. She paints me as the villain, the selfish, ignorant old man. Did she forget the decades I spent shattering my own body so she wouldn't have to lift a finger? I bled for this family. From the second Cameron took his first breath, I ground my bones to dust. I swallowed every hardship. I chewed through the pain. For 30 years, I hoarded pennies, terrified I wasn't providing enough. I literally took his place in a concrete cell, agonizing over their well-being every single night in the dark. And this is my payout. Grandma. A tiny voice drifts from the guest room. Willow pads out on bare feet. Her eyes lock onto me, her little brow furrowing into pure suspicion. Are you the bad grandpa? The one who went to jail for doing bad things? Me? Doing bad things? Before I can form a syllable, Chloe rushes over. She yanks Willow behind her legs. Who told you to come out? He's filthy. Don't go near him. Willow shrinks back, bursting into shrieks. I don't want the dirty grandpa. I hate the bad grandpa. Cameron drops to his knees, shushing her. It's okay, sweetie. He's leaving right now. He isn't staying with us. He straightens up, his patience snapping. He shoves that crumpled $100 bill back against my chest. Dad, just be a team player for once. Leave. I stare down at the wrinkled green paper in my palm. A harsh, broken laugh tears its way up my throat. Back in that cell, I pulled a billionaire's kid back from the brink of death. He wept in gratitude, forcing $1 billion into my hands. Inside my own home, I sacrificed my entire life. I took a felony conviction for my flesh and blood. I swallowed 3 years of absolute hell. My son buys my banishment for $100. My gaze snaps to his. Did you suddenly get amnesia? I paid cash for this house. I bite out every single cent. Cameron recoils. What is that supposed to mean, Dad? You walk out of prison and instantly demand our home. My chest heaves. Am I demanding the deed? You're denying me a single room in a house I bought. He scowls, shifting the blame entirely. Dad, we already explained. We are stressed. We are at capacity. Why do you always have to be so incredibly unreasonable? He crosses his arms, jutting his chin out. Besides, you signed the deed over to me right before Chloe and I got married. It was a voluntary gift. We don't owe you a damn thing. Chapter 3. A bitter laugh slips through my teeth. We don't owe you a damn thing. Right. Who stood in this exact foyer on move-in day, swearing this house would always be mine. Who dropped to his knees, sobbing, begging me to take the fall and promising to take good care of me. I just want one single room in the house I paid for. Is that crossing a line? Is this how you honor a debt? I spit the words out one by one. A surge of intense emotions churns in my chest. 3 years ago, Cameron and Chloe took my car, sped down the wrong side of the highway, killed a man. They ambushed me the second the sirens faded. They used Willow as a shield, playing the sympathy card about her age. Sylvia piled on the guilt, preaching how a prison sentence would obliterate their young family. But me? I was old. A few years behind bars wouldn't ruin my life. So they begged. I didn't do it for a payout. I just genuinely loved my son and my granddaughter. So I didn't hesitate to ruin my own life to take his place in prison. I bled my savings dry to settle the civil suit. I sold my truck. I swallowed the vehicular manslaughter charge, trading my freedom to shield my son from the fallout. I survived 3 years of concrete and razor wire. I expected a homecoming. Instead, I walk into an ambush. My own flesh and blood, treating me like a stray dog they want to put down. Cameron sighs, pinching the bridge of his nose like he's dealing with a toddler. Dad, I hear your frustration. I really do. But your incarceration was deeply traumatizing for us, too. He adopts that sickening, practiced tone of a faux therapist. Having a convicted felon in the family is a massive burden. People whisper. The social stigma is a very real issue we have to navigate. If you stay here, you're just dragging our mental health down with you. Can you stop being so incredibly selfish for 1 second? I stare at the man standing in front of me. The little boy who used to shadow my every footstep, promising to protect me when he grew up, is dead. dead, replaced by a parasite. Now that my bank accounts are empty and my name is ruined, I'm just garbage taking up space. My jaw locks. Cameron, my voice drops, cold and grating. You're forgetting one tiny detail. You are the one who belongs in a cell. You are the stain on this family. If you cared so much about protecting everyone, you should have confessed to the cops. Instead, you stole my life, hijacked my house, and have the audacity to accuse me of being selfish. The smug therapist act vanishes from Cameron's face, leaving behind a sickly, pale dread. Chapter 4. Cameron scoffs, clearly irritated. Dad, I already thank you for taking the charge. What else do you want from me? I'm your son. Isn't sacrificing for your kids literally in the job description? It was one little favor. Are you going to hold this over my head forever? He brushes off a felony conviction like a parking ticket. A single thank you to erase 1,095 days in hell. Chloe strokes the swell of her pregnant belly, her upper lip curling. Exactly. A real father protects his family. You're an unemployable ex-con. Moving in here is just you trying to leech off our success. How am I supposed to afford diapers if we're funding your retirement? Sylvia rolls her eyes, exhaling a loud, exasperated sigh. Sullivan, why are you acting so incredibly petty? We're his parents. It's our job to provide. You don't contribute any value to this household anymore. Finding your own apartment is the absolute bare minimum. Every word they say acts like a sharp knife, piercing my heart. Even though I am completely disappointed, my eyes still betray me and tear up. My vision blurs slightly as I stare at them. No wonder my visitor log was completely empty for 3 straight years, I say in a hoarse voice. I fed myself a lie. I told myself you were just busy building a life, but you were just disgusted by me.